another episode of the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a show made by 12s from around the world for 12s from around the world. I'm Mosette, and here's your host, and my dad, the self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Allen Church of Seahawk Positivity.
Yes, welcome to another wonderful episode of 12-Man Fan Jam Show. This is your self-appointed Reverend Moses of St. Paul Allen Church of Seahawk Positivity, and this is episode 1011, the At Lions edition of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show as the Seahawks get ready to take on those Detroit Lions. So please, grab a sin or beverage of your choice. Keep your arms and legs inside the podcast of all times. Please put your tray tables up and put your seats up in the full upright position. Fasten that safety belt, and what can I tell you? Gino's just doing Gino things, I guess. I don't know. What can you do? Anyway, we're going to move on from last week. We got a full house here. We're going to start by introducing Newshound Will. Hi, Will.
Hi, Moses. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. It hasn't been the best season so far, but hey, Seahawks country.
You know it, baby. Let's what?
I love that shirt. I saw some Let's in an orange hat. I was wondering what that was.
Very nice. Very nice. Maddie's here from merry old England. Hi, Maddie.
Good morning, Moses. How are you?
Wonderful, sir. Yourself?
Well, I just want to say I want to give my sincere thoughts and good wishes to everyone in Florida right now and in South Carolina following the wake of Hurricane Ian. You know, this massive storm even forced Tom Brady to flee his home.
What?
Yes, but allegedly, even Aaron Rodgers has decided against traveling to Florida at the moment, especially once he heard that there were thousands of outages across the state, as he didn't want that to happen to him.
He didn't want to be an outage, did he?
No.
And if you wonder what that's about,
it's just allegedly.
You can write Matt care of 12manfanjamshow@gmail.com.
Just an alleged report. Just
allegedly. Hinting at. And look who's back. It's Little Mo. Hi, Little Mo.
Hi. How's it
Little
going?
Mo, this is your third show. In the first two shows, what has happened?
Losses.
But we're gonna get you on the winning streak this week. Welcome back. Is Abby close or is she around?
She's down here.
Ever.
She's worn out.
And we have a returning guest panelist for the Posse, all the way from Reno, Nevada. It is Statsman Mark. Statsman Mark, welcome back, my friend.
Thank you, everyone. It took me, I decided at 52 to put myself to pasture in the land of teaser and pleaser cards. I can't even, I got to find my way. Look at this, the money line, supply, then sell.
That's some great looking toilet paper you got there, Mark.
It is. It might as well be, actually. But check this out. Look at this. I get a room. Like, I want a room with a view. Like, I'll give you a view. Look at this.
Yeah, watch this.
Let's see if I can get the white balance.
They're saying out there right now, is he really in Reno? Is this really Reno? Is he really in Reno?
Figure this out. Here, I used to.
It looks like he's in the center of the sun.
No, wait. It'll adjust. There you go.
Oh, there you go.
So we get a little bit of an idea.
There it is, baby. The Nugget.
The Nugget.
The Nugget in lovely Reno, Nevada.
And what appears to be interstate.
It's real, people. It's real.
That's awesome. They got it's an 80s decor for a room, and it's 80s entertainment. Belinda, Carlisle, and Hall & Oates. It's 1982 all over.
Oh my God, the Go-Go's and Hall & Oates. What a headline!
Really is a place on earth.
Excellent. It really is.
Now I'm having flashbacks to prom when I was shot down. Even then, this is so discouraging.
I have terrible prom experiences. I won't share.
I love. I'm in the land of other daydreamers and cheat balls and parlays, pleasers, and
your breaks picks are going to be even better this week. But before we get there, we have to talk about how this show is run. Yes, 12-Man Fan Jam Show, episode 1011 format. The show is run just like a real NFL football game. 4 quarters and a halftime. In the first quarter, of course, Will catch us up on the news around the NFL. And it's a little special thing at the end of the news. We're going to talk about how angry someone can be, but we'll talk about that later. Quarter 2, we will talk about that game between the Falcons and the Seahawks last week. Unfortunately, that's something we just have to kind of do. At halftime, of course, it is the best Seahawk team trivia game on the internet. 12-Man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia
of the world.
And who won it last week? Do we remember? Was it Dustin?
No, it was Little Mo, wasn't it?
It was little. Oh yeah, it was. It was little Mo.
Oh.
Yeah,
it
2 for
was.
2,
Two
man.
for three.
2 for 2.
Two for-
Yeah, 2
Two
for
for
2.
three.
Nice. And the second half, we will actually talk about that game between the Seahawks and the Lions. We'll have injury report. We'll have fashion. We'll have weather. We'll have a sermon of Seahawk positivity from the Reverend Moses. We'll put all that together in quarter 4, make our predictions, prognostications, and game balls for that game between your Seattle Seahawks and those Detroit Lions. We'd like to remind you, follow us on Facebook. We have a great game day chat. We'd love you to be on 12-Man Fan Jam Show Facebook page for game day chat. You can email us at 12manfanjamshow@gmail.com, and you can, of course, subscribe and like this video on the Seahawk Positivity channel. But before we do all that, it is time to go to Will and the news. Yes, the 12-Man Fan Jam Show news report brought to you always by our Shadow Hawk, Will. Will, before you go, Mike Pascal, friend of the show, who does Game Buzz Comics, he sent me a message about the news audio last week. And apparently, Will, you said some stuff about Queen Elizabeth. And he said, tell Will his news item about Queen Elizabeth relating to football had me cracking up out loud. Although not only did she see the Lions win a playoff game, but she also saw their last championship, which was 1957. So there you go. Long live the Queen. All right. Yes. Well, what you got for us?
Well, Moses, I have to say I wasn't sure that whether my services as Dr. Will would be needed in today's game. So I was looking at injury histories today and discovered that the Jets are kind of having an interesting experience with former Seahawks linemen.
Oh, okay.
Because it turns out, George Fant, we all remember him, number 74 is reported eligible.
He used to play basketball.
Yes,
every primetime game. You know, this guy used to play basketball. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. And he used to play football for the Seahawks until moving over to the New York Jets a couple of years ago. Mm-hmm. He's actually going on injured reserve with a knee injury. So he'll miss the next 4 weeks.
That's sad.
Interesting thing with Fant, though, he was initially going to be the Jets' left tackle. He had to switch to right tackle after Mekhi Becton was lost for the season. The Jets signed another former Seahawk, Dwayne Brown, to play left tackle. But he went on injured reserve with a shoulder injury before week 1 even started.
Wonderful.
So Dwayne Brown is out in New York. George Fant is out in New York. And now they're expected to sign Cedric Ogbuehi off of the practice squad to play tackle. So apparently the New York Jets are where Seahawk tackles go to die.
Where Seahawk tackles go to die. They don't die. They just fade away in a Jets roster, apparently.
Yes, like everybody else in the Jets roster.
Who knew? Yeah, that's very sad. I'm sorry to hear that, that they have to rely on our players. Ironically, Detroit, for a while there, was picking up every spare Seahawk that was out there. I don't know if you knew that. At one point, they had back in the late, in the Holmgren era, I know the early Holmgren era and then into the Carroll era, they had 6 or 7 Seahawks on their squad. It was crazy. It seemed like everybody that was dropped from us went there. But that's too bad about the old tackles dying. Little Mo, should they look for a Fetty? What do you think?
Oh, God. No.
Moses, I'm pretty sure there's a constitutional amendment against that sort of thing.
Yeah, probably.
Is he even a thing anymore? Is he?
I don't know. Is he even in there anymore?
He's on the Falcons roster. He was in town last week.
So I don't know if people moving out guard, tackle. But he plays.
They were moving him all over the place. Water boy. He's good at holding things. But sorry. What else you got for us, Will?
Well, Moses, last night's game against with the Dolphins, of course, featured that horrible looking injury to Tua Tagovailoa.
Definitely.
Thankfully, he's back home, seems to be recovering well, sounds like he's going to be okay, thankfully. But before that happened, the only thing people were talking about with regard to the Dolphins was the butt punt. Of course,
the butt safety, yes.
Late in that game against the Bills, of course, they were punting from their own 1-yard line. The punter kicked one right into the backside of his own center.
He did.
Went on the field for a safety. Of course, we all laughed at that, and with good reason. Dolphins special teams coach Danny Crossman was less than amused. Asked if he could find anything amusing about it because the Dolphins won the game. Crossman replied, absolutely zero amusement and a 100% critical mistake that has the opportunity to lose us a game. It will never get a smile from me.
We are not amused.
Yes, he made it clear he saw nothing beneficial about the safety, even though they were able to get a free kick afterwards to pin the Bills back than they would have been otherwise.
Dang.
So
Wow.
there is one person in America who did not enjoy the butt punt.
Well, it's funny because Lil Mo and I were watching that, and we kind of briefly said, should they take the safety or should they go ahead and punt it? We're kind of playing, quarterback coach or armchair coach, and then it happened. But Zordy, did you see the butt safety?
Yes, it's and somewhere out there, Mark Sanchez is laughing. It was quite hard. I think it helped.
Finally,
he tweeted about it.
Poor guy, Matt.
Something else.
Do I even want to ask you your thoughts on this?
Allegedly. The only comment that came elsewhere from the NFL was that Aaron Rodgers was very interested in looking up this butt safety business and finding out whether he could find out more information on it.
Why would that be?
I just allegedly. I don't know. Perhaps he just wants to improve his game. I don't know. You don't know.
We don't know. He's interested in the workings of the butt safety. He wants to know if that's a concern.
Idea that butt is now a thing. So we're going to have butt touchdowns and butt interceptions, and this is starting to turn into a whole raft of butt things, and that's okay with me.
Sounds like the NFL's a little obsessed.
Their center has a big old butt.
Oh man, that's awesome. Well done, Will. The butt safety and the butt fumble, and who knows what next? Butt touchdown, butt sack, who knows?
Butt sack.
Well, remember, if it's a receiver going up for a catch, one butt equals 2 feet.
One butt equals 2 feet. That's right.
I just like the butt sack is the next one. We've got to see the butt sack.
The butt sack.
I am ready for that to be on widescreen television across bars in America. The butt sack.
I gotta tell you, I'm not.
Dennis, I forgot something.
This game.
Oh yes, that's man, Mark.
Dennis, I was just going to say, going back a couple to the first story about the Jets, it's only offensive linemen that Zach Wilson prefers are under 40 years old. I just wanted to clarify. So for protection. But
if only they could name York Cougars.
Mark for the win.
I didn't know that Cougar fatigue could qualify for the IR, but it did early on.
Nice. And with that,
now I feel like
wait, he's on a roll. Go ahead.
I'm not sure if I'm helping your son any with these comments, though.
No, he's never heard this stuff. Yeah, he never heard this stuff.
Forget it.
Mark's only jealous because the only Cougars he can find are in the Civil War, wasn't he?
Oh, mercy. All right. Well, Will, thank you so much for the news.
Anytime, Moses.
Now, usually we end the first quarter, but something happened last week. There was a particular angry video of a coach who was rather angry. So we are going to end the first quarter finding out one thing we all want to know. Why is this man so angry? Yes, why is this man so angry? We found footage, I know many of you saw, of Bill's offensive coordinator and former University of Miami quarterback and San Francisco 49er quarterback, Glenn Dorsey, and is now coach for the Bills offensive coordinator, I believe, got a little upset at the end of the game when he couldn't down the ball. So I thought we would take the time to take this footage. If you've never seen football before and you see this footage, you might come up with your own reasons why this man is so angry. It has nothing to do with football. So we'll start with Statsman Mark, and what I'll do is I'll ask the question and then I'll set you up and then you give the punchline. All right. Statsman Mark, why is this man so angry?
Dennis, I have written proof. It's because he did not hit his William Hill parlay pleaser card. You see, he needed he took an unusual spread. Not only did he need the underdog to cover, he needed the underdog to win by 3.5. See, there's the. But if you look even closer, you'll see this is a week 4 card, so it kills my own punchline. But the point remains, he wanted to win the dog. He took the Dolphins on a please.
You know what? Every gambler right now is laughing hysterically.
I'm having pleaser dreams. A 3 for 3 is 25 to 1, Dennis. This is how I learned math in school.
Nice.
Just somewhere
Nice.
in all the odds.
Nice.
And
Look
then
who joined
fractions.
us. Hey, look who
That's
joined
drugs.
us. It's Dustin. Hi, Dustin.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good,
Hey,
man.
Dustin.
Good, man. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, I'm sorry I'm running late. So my kids moved out, as you know.
Oh, yeah.
They left for the Air Force.
Oh,
I
yeah.
have since taken over Connor's room.
Oh,
It's
cool.
kind of my new office.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we got I'm gonna do the backgrounds in between here, but yeah, I got the green screen set up behind me.
Sweet.
But what took so long is I was setting up. I bought a TV today to mount above my computers. I got the dual monitors here.
Oh, yeah.
Bought a TV and I mounted that up above them. It's a smart TV, so I don't have to have a DVR box. And in between, I'm gonna get this set up and so I can watch the Mariners game while we're doing this too.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
they make-
Multitasking.
Yep, exactly.
So we're talking about why this man's so angry. Maddie, why is this man so angry?
Well, I mean, I don't want to say that Mark's wrong, but he is. I heard that the reason that this man's so angry is that he's worked out that this week's game is in a dome, and that means that my weather section is much shorter than it normally would be.
Oh, that is so disappointing.
Yeah.
Dang it. Hey, Will, why is this man so angry?
Well, Mark is actually incorrect about the kind of bet that he placed. See, last Sunday, he bet a week's paycheck on the Mariners, who unfortunately surrendered 11 runs in 1 inning and lost 13-12.
Yeah, that was rough.
That was before they bounced back, and by the time this hits air, they may be in the playoffs.
Who knows? Dustin, do you have any idea why he's angry?
Yeah, I know for a fact what happened. They had their draft a little bit early, and he selected Geno Smith as his quarterback. I'm sorry, Drew Lock. Drew Lock is his quarterback.
Drew Lock.
Drew Lock.
Well done. Little Mo, why is he so angry?
All right. Well, he is best friends with Deshaun Watson, and Deshaun Watson had his 11th masseuse on the day cancel. So
Cancel the masseuse.
yeah.
I'll come back to you in a minute because I know you got another one. Here's why I think he's angry. He's angry because this is what happens when she call you to tell you the result of the pregnancy test.
Yikes.
So,
Or when Maury Povich tells you the result.
Little Mo,
Yeah.
why is this man angry?
All right. This is Brett Favre. After thousands of poor people will now have food on their tables instead of his daughter having a new volleyball gym.
Ouch. Ouch. That's a thinker, y'all. Well, I think he's angry because this is what happens when the show that you tape starts late because of some sporting event and you don't get the end of it. This is what happens.
That's pretty
He's
terrible.
angry because he missed last week's 12-man fan jam show.
That too. Or maybe when she won't tell you where to eat and then she complains when you pick a place. That could be.
I think maybe he stepped on a Lego.
He could have. He could have.
Ooh.
That'll do it.
How about when you agree on no gifts for Christmas, but you see something under the tree to you from her
Yeah.
on Christmas morning?
Actually, Moses, he's not angry. He just saw a spider.
Oh, it's even better.
Oh.
He saw a spider.
Burn
That
that
will do
box
it.
down.
That will do it.
Here's
Yeah.
my last one. My last one's kind of personal because this happened to me last week. This was me actually Monday. When House of Dragons comes on, and not only do they do a time jump, but they change your character with a completely new actress. They don't tell you any of this. And you're sitting there for 15 minutes going, what is going on? Which is what happened to me.
Should have called me. I'd have told you.
I know. Time jump, and they changed the actress. Didn't say anything. I actually went, true story, 15 minutes in, stopped, rewound. Stopped. Did I miss something? No, didn't miss anything. They didn't tell us anything, and I did this right here. This is what I did. I said, come on.
True.
Dennis, it could be
You're going to have to let that one go.
Yeah.
It could be their dress code. They're dressed like gnomes. I mean, look at this. Look at these pants. This is bizarre.
Like gnomes.
Can I say
He's angry because those pants are a little too tight.
a little too tight?
It's all of a sudden, what are they dressing these? This is like, this is like a PE teacher I knew.
No, you know what it is? What it really is? He's been fired and traded to Detroit. That is what this is.
Oh,
I
Can I
think
just-
possibly what it could be is that he's not angry. He's a Raiders fan, and that's just how they express joy.
But what if Raider fans had to be joyful about this season?
Oh my God.
Fair enough.
Awesome. So
Although he
anyway,
didn't-
we like to
apparently,
know.
but he didn't do it right because I thought he was going to jump up in the air and smash that table, but he hasn't
Right.
done that.
Oh,
either.
yeah, he's
So
the
he
Bills,
hasn't-
Bills Mafia.
Hasn't even got that right. But what I
No.
love, can I just say, the very best thing about this whole thing is how calm everyone else is around him. Like people are just like, yeah, it's fine.
My
whatever,
favorite
get on
part
with it."
is after he's
Yeah.
done and he's destroyed every playbook and everything. He's sitting there with a mess in front of him going, now I got to clean this shit up.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and with that, we'll stop being angry and we'll end the first quarter.
That's the end of the first quarter, bitches.
Oh, it was an angry first quarter. But before we continue to talk about the upcoming Lions game, we have to go back and talk about the Falcons game last week, guys. I'm sorry.
No, angry second quarter too.
The angry second quarter, and that's coming up right after this.
You're listening to the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production.
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Yes, welcome to the second quarter of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show, episode 1011, the At Lions edition. But before we go to the Lions game, we have to wrap up what happened last week. Seahawks fall to Falcons 27-23. Will, is this was a little bit better than the 49ers game. Is there some positives we can get out of this one?
Well, you know, our offense was moving the ball for a while. Gino had some good passes in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
The running game, I mean, we haven't had much push in the run game, but Penny and Walker were able to get some yards. You know, Gino had that horrible pass to end it all, but you know, Gino's Gino. If you're putting it in his hands to win the game, you pretty much deserve what you get. This game, as far as I'm concerned, is completely on the defense. I mean, they need to take the tack of, if our offense scores 23 points, we need to be able to get them to win.
Yeah.
This needs to be our team. This needs to we need to take control of a game like that and just win it for them.
Yeah.
And you know, we just gave up way too many big plays. Cordero Patterson made us look silly.
Wow.
And it's just, a lot of it is just fundamentals. I mean, players taking bad angles, players not being able to tackle. Our defensive line, with the exception of Al Woods, just is not getting it done in the run or pass game.
Mm-mm.
KJ Wright had a good point on his weekly radio hit this past week. The interior linemen are getting blown up by offensive linemen, and they're just getting knocked out of the play each time. So
Mhm.
if running teams are getting 6, 7, 8 yards of carry on us,
Yeah.
and I don't know why this defense looks so bad. I mean, we brought in all these coaches. We got this new scheme. We're supposed to be more aggressive, and it's just the early results are just really bad. Apart from forcing those turnovers in Denver,
Mhm.
I really can't think of any game-changing plays that we made that this defense made. We did get that
Yeah.
fumble. Credit to Uchenna Nwosu in the fourth quarter recovering that fumble.
Yeah.
But it's not like we stripped that. That was just
No.
Mariota dropping the damn ball. Nwosu was
Basically.
lucky to get there. So our defense, I really am disappointed with the way our defense has looked, and they have got to step it up starting this week in Detroit, or it's going to
They really do. 420
Yeah,
yards of offense
yeah.
is pretty good. Dustin, go ahead.
Yeah, just wanted to kind of make comment on what Will was saying there. It's supposed to be more aggressive defense, right? But you're a more aggressive defense matched up with a bunch of young guys and rookies and things like that. The defense, they may very well be more aggressive, but if you're not doing it in a disciplined way, you're going to find yourself out of position and taken out of plays. So that might be part of what we're seeing here is
Yeah.
they're trying to execute, but they're too. You remember Aaron Curry? He'd go out there 1,000 miles an hour, look like a lost puppy, didn't know what the hell to do. So we might be in a situation where, as the collective, without the leaders out there that we've had, that might be that might be affecting, how they play discipline on the defense, not being in the wrong spots and going when you're not supposed to, be too aggressive, things like that. But as far as the game goes, it right now looks like we got to score 30 points a game to win, and that is not a recipe for success in the NFL. Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Yeah,
no. The offense did look better. There were some positives there. Richard Sherman said it best. Those are type of results you're going to get. When you have Geno Smith with the possession at the end of the game.
Yeah,
we saw it last year. He had a couple chances to win, and he turned the ball over. He can't do it in the big moments. He doesn't have that like killer instinct, or I've heard it referred to as an it factor or whatever it is. That's not Geno. He does not have that. So
he had two open receivers on that last pass, one of which was in the end zone, and yet he tried to force it to Tyler Lockett.
Yeah. See, I wasn't sure if he was, because there was a kind of a levels thing there. They had one deep and a kind of mirroring routes with Tyler Lockett there. And I wasn't sure if he just couldn't decide if he wanted to go deep or go short. Yeah. And he ended up in the middle because, I don't know. He doesn't have what it takes to get it done in those situations. So the only way to win those games is to avoid those situations. And the defense has to step up and make plays consistently throughout the game. And we haven't seen them be able to do that yet.
Exactly. Statsman Mark, did you get to see the game? What are your thoughts?
Well, it's funny because I know for starters, I mean, anyone who pays attention to my comments know, I was probably among the harshest critics of this team going into the season, simply just given these are the kind of games that normally you'd win, and these are the kind of games this team's going to drop, because there's just there's some talent on the team, but there's clearly a lack of depth. I think that it's not to single anyone out, but ultimately, I guess if I get into like the bigger picture and philosophy where the team's at right now, I don't know if there's any other head coach other than Pete Carroll that believes that Cody Barton is a legitimate starting. I just think there's a lot of problems with this team. There's some talent, but I just don't think that there's so little margin for error,
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think.
But they're young.
Well, but I'm not saying the in between the lines. I'm also not saying that I wish we had our franchise quarterback still on the team, because $49 million is too much for where he is at. So you know what I mean? This is just where the team is, but it's not because I wanted to keep the guy. I don't know, so. I'm a little surprised we didn't win this game, but it's not surprising in that this is overall, and there's just not much of a pass rush.
This is kind of where this team is, I think, playing a team like the Falcons, bad, isn't it?
Yeah, I think what we saw was an offense about as good as it's ever going to get. So if you wanted to see our offense at full power in top gear, that's what you saw. It's not going to get any better than that.
It wasn't terrible. 420 yards and wasn't bad.
If you look at the stats from both sides,
3 points in the second half.
Now that's
but this was what I was going to say. If you look at the overall sort of offense defensive stats between the two teams, actually in many ways it's quite even. Time of possession, we had a little bit more possession than they did. Our third down efficiencies were about the same, over 50% each of us. So if you look at some of these stats, you think, well, actually we didn't have a bad game, and we didn't from an offensive perspective. But our defense, if you look at that for the number of tackles for losses, if you look at that, it's almost next to none. Every play they made yards. Every play they made they made yards apart from the sack. Now, if our defense can't even slow them down, I mean, put Patterson to 140 yards, 150 yards a game.
Man. 7 yards a carry.
I mean, it's just insane. 8 yards? Yeah, be an average of about 8 yards a carry. I mean, that is going to kill you,
like you do in practice.
Yeah, totally. And he made our defense look stupid. Yeah. In many ways, they were out of position most of the time. We still have this issue with the secondary where they're happy to play the Wagner defense, which is we'll let them get the 5 yards, but we will still shut them down. That's Pete's sort of let's have all our space. They'll get 5 yards, but we'll shut them down until you don't. And then they've suddenly got 20 yards, and then they've got 25 yards. Right. Before you know where you are, they're in the red zone. Right. So our defense is just needs to find some rhythm, it needs to find some confidence, and it needs to find some leadership
and some consistency.
group.
Yes,
And at the moment, it's not. It's losing all those things. But in terms of, can we sit here and put this loss on Gino's shoulders? No, we can't. This was exactly what you're going to get from him. It is the best you're going to get from him. So get used to it, and hopefully, if you're lucky, you'll get this every game from him to about 27 points. But you won't get any. You won't get any more, and that's not going to be enough in this league.
Yeah. If our defense was playing up to what I think we all expected it to play up to, this is the kind of game that we could win with this offense and this quarterback.
Yes.
It's just the defense is dropping the ball now.
Exactly. Little Mo, what are your thoughts about the game?
A couple things. One, I think no one's really pointing this out. We are really missing Jamal Adams. I think in the run deep.
Yeah.
Leadership, not just on the field, but off the field.
In relief of Adams either.
Yes.
And one support.
Absolutely.
But the other thing was, I felt like whenever our offense was doing really well, our defense couldn't stop anybody. But then when our defense was playing well, our offense did nothing with it. They were never in sync. One side of the ball was doing really well, and the other side was doing terrible.
Yeah,
I just like we couldn't get them both going at the same time.
Get them both going at the same time. And you said about Cordell, you said during the game, oh, look, another career high. We make career highs for people and offensively, which is kind of sad. But Cordell Patterson, there's no excuse for him to run as well as he did. That was just inexcusable. He's a great player. He's a great guy, but come on.
Yeah, but people aren't really talking about how we're missing Jamal Adams a lot, and I think we really are.
Yeah,
we really are.
Yeah.
And his leadership, especially. And like you said, I think Will said the replacement's not really doing the job.
Right. Yeah.
I agree, but Nwosu still looks really good. He still seems to be spent a lot of time in the backfield, which is good, even though that fumble was a hammy, but he was there to get it. I think Nwosu is playing up to the free agent status that we paid him for. But you're right. A lot of work on defense. Offense looked well enough offense again at home looked like Gino looked pretty much in control of the offense. I remember one time somebody was out of position and he got mad and he was screaming at somebody to move, and they did. And you could see, look at his face. He was angry. And I felt like Gino was in control of what was going on out there. And I think the offense certainly played well enough to win. Just didn't happen.
I will say, with someone like Gino, we need to get the running game going. We can't just fall back. I don't know whose fault, what's going on, but we cannot get Penny going.
No.
And we're using Walker more of that gadget player this year.
Yeah, Walker's become kind of the DS Grinch, has he? He's kind of become the Deebo Samuel. We were talking about that a little bit. Walker seems to be running a lot like Deebo Samuel does for San Francisco.
Get him the ball and let him do what he does.
Get him in space and let him do what he's going to do. I thought he looked pretty well. He looked okay. A lot of them looked okay on offense. I don't think I just feel like this is, like you said, this is about as good as it's going to get for us this year. And this has to be a win for us when we play this well, because we have many opportunities for this, but hopefully this week we will. So with that, let's go to the halftime Posse prediction challenge. And let's see, before we go to halftime, it's time to look at our 2-minute warning and the Posse prediction challenge. All right, 2-minute warning. We're going to see how we did on Posse prediction challenge for this game. Seahawks lose 27-23. Chris and Mike both said the Seahawks would score 23 points, which is interesting. I gave the score to Jose because he had 26-23. That's pretty close, so I'll give him that one. Prognostications: Metcalf did catch a touchdown. Penny did have over 60 rushing yards. Taylor did get a sack, and Woolen got an INT. Stats Mark Mariota did not throw 2 INTs. That's what you were thinking, but you were short by 1. In regards to the game balls, no winner, no game ball. So we move on to the over-under, which is 41.5. It was over. Jose and Mike, Will, Chris, Andy, Stats Mark, and myself got a point for that, which means week 3 scores look like this. Mike at 4, Chris at 4, Jose at 3, Will at 2, Andy 1, Stats Mark 1, Moses 1. And by the way, Chris Baldy did contact me. I did not give him credit for a point last week. So I added that to the final score. He's right. We added a score to our team and these scores.
Cheating.
We've narrowed it to this. Overall, it's Mike 13, Will 5, Mark 3, Andy 4, Little Mo, Jimmy, Dustin 2, Jose 4, Carrie 1, Statsman Mark 2, Chris 5, and me 1. And here we go.
We're missing someone.
There's a name missing off there. I just want to point that out.
There's someone missing on that list. Team 12, 27. Team Posse 20. We were 10 points last week. We were 7 points this week. We are crawling back. Look out, little Mo.
We're coming for you.
Getting carried right now.
And we're bringing hell with us. Speaking of hell, it is now halftime.
It's halftime, bitches!
All right. It is enough talking about the Falcon game. That's all in the past. From here on, it's about the Lions. But before we do that, it's time to play the best Seahawk-themed trivia game on the internet. 12-Man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia
Of the world.
of the world. And that is coming up right after this. Don't you go change it.
You are watching the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production.
Yes, welcome everyone to America's favorite Seahawk-themed trivia game, 12-Man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia
Of the world.
The show that pits the posse against themselves and a knowledge of all things Seahawk and otherwise. And for your entertainment, the questions will be up on the screen so you can play along as well. If you do, make sure you tell us how you did. We have 2 rounds of questions, a point for each round. After that, there's a final question worth 2 points. And then if there's a tie after that, those who are tied go into a double secret probation overtime question and will be crowned 12-Man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia champion of the world. So last week, Little Mo won. So 1 through 5. Little Mo, what is your choice?
3.
Okay, Little Mo goes with 3. Statsman Mark, 1, 2, 4, 5.
I'll lead off.
All right.
I can do that now.
All right. Will, 2, 4, 5.
I don't think we've ever had this many people before.
I don't think we have either.
I will do question number 5 in round 1.
All right.
Maddie?
What's left?
2 and 4.
Oh, I'll take 4, please.
All right. That means Dustin, 2 or
I'm
2?
taking 2.
All right.
2.
Dustin is taking the 2. All right, Statsman Mark, here we go. Are you ready? Remember, one of these questions won't be exactly about the Seahawks. Mark, yours is.
I got my lucky big teaser card right here, Dennis.
Man.
Bring me.
Big teaser card's going to help you. Here you go.
And we can remove one wrong answer once.
Thank you.
Right?
Yes, you can remove one wrong answer once. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I missed something apparently.
You can, because Little Mo's playing now, you can't ask the kids. So what we're doing is you can ask me to remove one wrong answer.
I haven't won a show yet since changed that rule. I've not won it.
This is like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, a little bit more like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire then.
A little bit, 50-50. Yeah.
That's actually why he invited Little Mo onto the podcast.
That's why it is.
Less work for him.
Less work for me. Hey, let's play. Mark. The first time the Seahawks won in Detroit was 1987. How many touchdown catches did Steve Largent have in that game? 1, 2, or 3? Steve Largent, dance! How many touchdown catches for Steve Largent in 1987 against Detroit? 1, 2, or 3?
Happy late birthday.
Wow.
Happy belated birthday, Lil Mo? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Nice.
Is that the year RoboCop came out?
Yes. Yep. Well, this was actually my first Pro Bowl year of drinking, so things are hazy, not to mention it's 35 years ago, Dennis. But, for the sake of keeping things moving and for the sake of the marquee, can we see the marquee? Like, am I in the own way?
Yeah, we can see the marquee. There it is.
I'm going to say 2. Let's just say 2.
He's going to say 2. He's going to say 2. No, I'm sorry, Mark. Same old song. It was 3. Caught 3 in one game. Yeah.
I moved to a whole nother state just to hear that. I can't believe I
believe it, baby.
This is outrageous.
That was the last of the strike games that year when people started crossing the picket line.
Yes, that's right. Dustin.
Yeah.
Your question is this: when the Seahawks beat the Lions in 2006, Josh Brown kicked the winning field goal as time expired to win the game. How long was that winning field goal? Was it 42, 48, or 51 yards? Yes. The game-winning field goal. They won 9-6, by the way.
Riveting game.
Ironically, They started the season in Detroit, and that's the year after the Super Bowl in Detroit. So it's kind of weird too.
So they probably weren't moving the ball very well. So I'll say like 51 yards.
He'll say 51.
They probably weren't getting too close to the end zone. Huh.
He did kick a 51-yarder in that game, but the game winner was 42.
Ah.
Yeah. Little Mo,
Yeah.
yours is not a football question.
Uh-huh.
Little Mo, do you ever see the MGM Lion roar?
Yeah.
The MGM Lion roar, it's a very famous lion. Just trust me on this. Anyway, what is the name of the MGM Lion? Is it Leo, Larry, or Leonard? What is the name of the MGM Lion?
Oh, crap.
Yeah, the name.
I'm gonna go Leo because that sounds the best.
Leo sounds the best?
Yeah.
Leo sounds the best, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Leo. Leo the lion.
Nice job. Nice
Makes
job.
sense. Little Mo's on the
Typical.
board.
The one time there's a non-sports question I would have got.
You would have gotten it.
instantly.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were
How
so
annoying is that?
Give yourself a chance. There's your second round coming up. Maddie,
Yeah.
Seahawks played the Lions in Detroit in 2018.
No.
Yeah. Who caught 2 touchdown passes for the Lions in that game? Was it Calvin Johnson, Brandon Pettigrew, or Titus Young?
Who?
I'm pretty sure I know this answer.
Who?
Never heard of those names. It's the first one.
Oh yeah. I'll
You
go
don't know
with-
Calvin Johnson?
I was
I said, except the first one.
except for the
Oh.
first- which is the one I'm going to go for, Calvin Johnson.
Calvin Johnson.
on the
No,
basis,
it
on
was
the basis that I don't know the others either.
Titus Young. Titus Young.
Yeah, I
Wasn't
remember
Calvin
Titus Young.
retired by then?
Yeah,
Probably,
he was retired.
But I
I'm
knew
pretty
the
sure.
name.
No, they were all there. They were
Oh,
all
were they?
there. Mhm.
Well, it might have been Calvin's last year then.
It was
Yeah.
4 touchdown passes. Titus caught 2, Calvin caught 1, and Brandon caught 1. So
Yeah,
they all
I
caught 1
remember.
again.
Yeah. Young is the tight end. Was he the tight
No,
end?
no. Young was the wide receiver. Pettigrew was.
Pettigrew's a tight end.
Hey,
Yeah.
Will.
Yes, Moses.
Seahawks played the Lions in 1996. Who was the leading rusher in that game? Wait till you see this list.
Oh,
Leading
dear.
rusher in that game, was it Steve Broussard, Barry Sanders, or Lamar Smith? That's right. Seattle Seahawk Lamar Smith before we traded him to Green Bay and he ran for 5,000 yards. Broussard,
day.
Sanders, or Smith, who led the game in rushing?
One's not like the others.
Oh, you're darn right.
Yep. That seems a little too obvious.
Right.
I'm going to say Steve Broussard.
You're going to say Steve Broussard. No, it was Lamar Smith.
Ah.
Wow.
Look at that, 134 to 148.
Well, at least Broussard showed up in that game.
He did, 31 yards. And so at the end of round 1, Little Mo's on the board, but nobody else is. Little Mo, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What do you want?
Let's go with 7.
That conspiracy theory is looking really good at the moment, Will. Just saying.
Yeah.
The only person in the house who keeps getting all the answers right.
Mhm.
Mm.
You just bought yourself the back of the line. Dustin, 6, 8, 9, 10.
I'll go 6. Let's get this over with.
It's over with.
Stats fan Mark.
Finish him.
Stats fan Mark, 8, 9, or 10.
I'll do 8.
Will, 9 or 10.
10, please.
And Maddie, you are stuck at number 9.
Thanks.
Suck
Oh,
it.
Mariners are up 1-0, by the way, the first inning.
Woo! Hooray, Mariners. All right.
So
Just
what?
round
The
us.
Mariners' magic number is what?
1.
1.
One. I can't do
1.
that. It's all over Twitter.
How many total games left in the season?
Hey, this is the
6 or
Seahawk
something.
podcast. You go to the Mariner podcast down the street, buddy. All right. Number 6. Dustin. Who
Yeah.
was the original voice of the grown Simba in the 1994 film The Lion King? Was
Matthew
that
Broderick.
Was it Matthew Broderick, Emilio Estevez, or Rob Lowe? You punk.
Yeah, that was.
Bob Lowe.
Fine.
Young voice was Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
John Joe Taylor Thomas. I'd have got that too. I hate the fact that the non-sport questions I could have got this week.
Well, you know what? If you hadn't shot your mouth off, you might have had a chance to pick that.
No,
one.
because I did. He still would have gone first.
Right. Little Mo.
We're lucky you just didn't give him a free
Hakuna
point.
Matata.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
there it is. There it is. There it is.
I tried to avoid that.
Hey, Little Mo. Little Mo, come in the other room. I'll show you the answer. No, Little Mo. Little Mo, when
Different
the
thing where
Seahawks,
they're doing like a share screen.
yeah, really. Little Mo, when the Seahawks played the Lions in 2012, how many touchdown passes did Matt Stafford have for the Lions in that game? 1, 2, or 3?
Okay, 2012. Oh,
Roughly 10 years ago.
yeah. Well, I didn't really watch. I
If
didn't
you
start
math
watching.
it.
7. Yeah.
I didn't start watching until 2014. So
Truth.
I'm just gonna go with. Wait, take one away.
Take one away. It's
Oh,
either
yeah, we
2.
can do that.
It's either 2 or 3.
Okay, well, that's what I was in between. Let's go with 3 because.
Let's go with
yeah.
3.
Because he has good logic.
And it's right. He's got 2 points.
Oh, what a shock, huh, Matt?
I know.
think-
It's amazing, isn't it, Will? It's amazing.
I'm wondering if Dennis like
Consistency.
writes these on like a whiteboard on the fridge. Is he thinking of them?
Pretty much.
And
The
Lomo just walks
consistency,
by
yeah.
like, oh, that's what he's gonna ask. Okay.
Hey, Mark. Save
Yes.
me. When the Seahawks played the Lions last year, who caught 3 touchdown passes for the Seahawks? Was that Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, or Freddie Swain? Who caught 3 touchdown passes against the Lions last year?
Jeez.
Jeez.
Jesus not on there.
Yeah,
Is it
Jesus
cheap?
was not playing that game.
He was injured.
Well, let's see.
He pulled a groin. Pulled it right off.
We're gonna go with DK.
We're gonna go with
Just
DK.
Yeah.
Go with
Okay.
DK.
Yes.
Woo!
DK. And Mark is on the board.
Metcalf.
Wait, my name should be on that marquee for getting this thing correct, man.
You should. You need to go get them and get that
We'll
fixed.
flash
You
up
guys
on
ever
it.
look up his real name?
Yeah, Little Mo, what is it? It's weird.
I don't remember.
Hey, he looked up. He's like, it's like a weird. Oh yeah,
What,
DK?
DK?
yeah. DK's is weird.
DK?
Yeah,
Is
it's
it?
DK. Yeah, I think so.
It's-
Hey, Maddie. Hey, Maddie.
Yes.
When the Seahawks played Detroit in 2015, who scored the only touchdown for the Seahawks? The only touchdown was scored by Doug Baldwin, Jimmy Graham, or Luke Wilson.
Take one away.
I'm going to take away Luke Wilson. It's either Doug Baldwin or Jimmy Graham. Who scored touchdown?
Of course, you would take away Luke Wilson.
I had already discounted him, which is the annoying thing about it. So
Yeah.
it's not going to be him. So,
Old brick
well,
hands.
just for the fact that I know that this will piss Dennis off the most if I don't choose him,
Uh-huh.
I'm going to choose Doug Baldwin.
Don't blame me. Doug Baldwin, huh?
Yeah.
Doug might get angry if he finds out you
Yes!
didn't pick him.
Yes. Maddie's on the board. Wow.
Well, I knew that Jimmy Graham probably didn't catch it or anything, so it's like.
Oh, he dropped it.
Jimmy Graham
All
was
right.
probably injured.
Hey, Will,
Moses.
would you like to answer to number 10? No.
Matthew Broderick.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding.
Jonathan Taylor. And then you had to be a smart ass to go with Jonathan Taylor. Thomas did his early, like the little
Yeah,
one.
young
Like,
he did.
Who asked?
Jeremy Irons was
Who the hell asked?
Darth Vader played
James
Mufasa.
David L. Jones.
Oh.
James L.
Don't
Jones.
care. All right, Will.
Rowan Atkinson was the parrot.
Zazu.
When the Seahawks played the Lions in 2003, who had the most receiving yards for the Seahawks in that game? Bobby Ingram, Daryl
Goldberg.
Jackson, or Corin Robinson?
He was
All
one
right,
of the
take it
hyenas.
away.
Take one away. Take away Corin Robinson. It's either Bobby Ingram or Daryl Jackson.
D-Jack.
D-Jack. D-Wrong, Bobby Ingram.
D-Wrong.
You're wrong.
So,
D-this.
Nice.
Oh, God.
Will, no points. Maddie, Dustin, and Mark a point. Little Mo 2, but it's okay because it's time for the final question. Now it's time for a final question. Yeah. All right. Final question will be a number. It will be a whole number. So no math for Dustin. He's very thankful.
Good. That's good.
Will go first. Dustin will go second. Maddie will go third. Mark will go fourth, and Little Mo will go fifth. All right, here we go.
Overtime is possible.
Overtime is possible, so get ready. The question is this: the playoff game between the Seahawks and the Lions in 2017. How many total yards of offense did the Seahawks have in that game? Total offensive yards, and we go to Will. Will, how many?
341.
341. Dustin, how many?
Take one away. I'm going with Matt. Is that not how this works?
No.
No,
Give me a number, math boy.
Okay. 317.
317. Matt.
317.
Yeah.
377.
377. Mark, we have 377, 341, and 317.
Yeah. Was Lynch already off the team that year? Was he already gone? I think he was.
You think I know that?
I mean,
I don't know.
You looked it up.
Lynch had retired.
That was, I tell you what, that was the game that Richardson had those amazing catches, 26-6, and I think somebody ran for a lot of yards.
Anyway, well, let's see. I have
Was that Rawls?
That
That was Rawls. Was the running back?
Oh my God, my old favorite Rawls. I'll go 411. The old information
All
number.
right.
After.
All right, Little Mo. Here's what we got.
Yep.
Total number, we got 411, 377, 341, and 317.
311's a good band. Throwing that
Let's
out there.
go with 387.
387.
Yes, sir.
Okay. 387.
Yeah.
You're sure about 387?
Yeah.
All right, because the total 11 yards offense the Seahawks had in that game was 387. Mo hit it on the button.
How is this possible, Will?
What a surprise.
Unbelievable.
I'm
When
sorry.
he said 387, I went, oh, I'm in so much trouble.
How much sus?
I had a bad feeling if I got this right. Okay.
You didn't get
Bad
it right.
feeling
You
you
hit
got
it
it right.
on the button.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
I'll
Number
take-
well
two.
done, man.
88.
Congratulations, Little Mo. I will celebrate that victory with you if no one else will. So, congratulations, Little Mo.
Thank you.
Good job. Well done. 3 out of 4, or 3 out of 3, I think you are.
No, 4. 3 out of 4.
It's almost like you knew the questions, but he didn't. He didn't.
I promise.
That was another mind-numbing, heart-turning, stomach-eating,
Curdling.
Stomach eating.
stomach-eating edition
Stomach
of your
digesting.
12-man fan jam show. Halftime trivia
Of the world.
of the world. Let's talk about that Lions game, and we'll do that right after this.
I hope his theme song is the X-Files because all the conspiracy here.
Nice.
You know what? I like that.
Nice.
You are watching the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production.
If there's a better use for the internet, I haven't found it.
Holy shit, it's the third quarter!
Yes, it's time for the third quarter of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show, episode 1011. Congratulations again, Little Mo, on hitting it on the button. The final question, amazing. 2 for 2 on questions and hitting it right in the button. He is in the other side of the house, y'all. He's not near me. I'm
Almost
telling you.
unbelievable.
Almost unbelievable, but I'm telling you, there's nothing here. Nothing to worry about. So we are going to move forward from the Falcons and the halftime trivia. We're going to talk about that game between the Seahawks and the Detroit Lions. Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 a.m. in the Pacific. Breakfast with the Seahawks. Matt, what time?
It's 6 p.m.
Yes, this means you get to see the whole thing.
What?
Nice. Good for you. All right. So anyway, before we go into that, we want to get you set up in the game and all the things you need to know. And we start with, of course, Dr. Dustin and the 12-Man Fan Jam Show injury report. Dr. Dustin, tell us the news.
All right. So the Detroit Lions, we're going to start with them. This week, they might be better known as the Walking Dead here. They're missing a bunch of people, to include running back DeAndre Swift,
Nice.
wide receiver Amon Ra St. Brown. I'm pretty sure he was in The Mummy. Kicker Austin Siebert. He hurt his groin, so
Hold his groin.
Hello,
Hold it right off.
Yep.
Hello, Bird.
Holy
have,
cow.
Offensive lineman Jonah Jackson's out. He hurt his finger, so he can't play. Yeah, poor guy. The poor guy. And then defensive lineman John Kaminsky has a wrist injury, and he did not participate
Former Seahawks.
in practice, and he will not participate in the game. No comment.
He just didn't want to go back to Seattle. That's what that was.
Yeah. For the Seahawks, we're actually looking pretty healthy here. We have one player that's doubtful, Justin Coleman. He still has that calf injury that he's been dealing with for the last couple games. He might as well be out. He's not gonna play. Questionable for the first time is Joey Blunt. He's actually making his way back, and we might see him this week. So we'll see what happens. Lord knows we need some safety help, depth, anyways.
You know how proud I was to see my own son when you said Blunt go. So proud. Go ahead.
Me and Will did at the same time.
I know.
And that's it for as far as our injuries go. But Shelby Harris should be back. Is going to be back this week, so that's good.
Good.
He's kind of a noticeable return. So
yeah,
that's it, man. It's looking good for the Seahawks and not so good for Detroit Lions.
Good. Why can't we have this injury report when this team was like 10-2? It seemed like 10-2, they'd have all these injuries. Now we got this 1-2 team. Everybody's healthy. We can all play.
She's telling us we have no excuse this week.
Yeah, right.
To lose.
If the defense was ever going to get right, it's going to be this week.
It's going to have to be. Well, thank you, Dr. Dustin, with that very informative injury report. And now we turn to the weather and fashion for the show. And to do that by turning to a man who lives across the Atlantic Ocean, of course. That is the 12-Man Fan Jam Show weather and fashion report with Matty from Merry Old England. Oh, Matt.
You know, if you go the other way, he's actually on the other side of the Pacific, too. Throwing that out there.
Oh, Matt.
Yeah, thank you, Mose. I don't think I need to give this report because little Mose already got it. But yes, thank you, little thank you, Moses. We're off to Ford Field this week, which means that we're back to the kryptonite of this whole section of the show, the dome. It kills the whole section dead, as we know from the angry person slightly earlier on in the show. But at least it will give us some time to analyze the weather data Earl collected from last week's game, as he flew a weather drone over the stadium. Apparently, flying a drone over the stadium is frowned upon, but I think we got away with it.
That's who it was.
I don't think anyone noticed, so I think we managed to get away with it.
Oh my God, finally. We finally find out who that is.
We got some good weather data there, so thanks for that, Earl. And we'll be crunching those numbers so when we do play outside, we can hopefully be a bit more accurate with our weather.
Good.
So weather doesn't matter, basically, folks. Ignore it. It's almost as if it doesn't matter. Now, what to wear to this game? Well, we're in Detroit, Michigan, so if you're looking for work after the game, you could always go dressed as Mario and Luigi, because I hear they're in need of some good plumbers up in Flint, Michigan. To sort out a small water issue they've got up there or something. So you could get always some time to get some work up there if you got that. Or if you want to honor the cultural and political history of Detroit, you could always go as Detroit's own Sonny Bono, complete with a Cher lookalike if you like. Just be careful when you're driving to the stadium that you don't hit any trees or anything. Now, as for me,
look it up, kids. That's funny.
Look it up. It's a historical reference. Now, as for me, if I was going to go to this game, there really is only one outfit for me. That's right. I would go as Detroit's own Diana Ross. Well, a white Diana Ross. I'm not the Canadian Prime Minister. I'm not blackfacing it or anything. So complete with huge hair and a massive repertoire of songs, including Reach Out and Touchdown, Touchdown in the Morning.
Nice.
And my personal favorite, If We Hold On Together, We're Going to Get a Penalty. But whatever you go dressed in, remember to throw a Hawks jersey over that, and you should be fine. With all that being said, it looks like it's going to be perfect Seahawks weather. So, Moses, it's back over to you.
Wonderful. Wonderful as always, Matt. You have to have the long hair. You have to wear. I love all of you. I love all of you. Okay. Sorry. Thank you so much. And now a live segment by Statsman Mark that we like to call Bricks Picks. Mark will pick an underdog in the NFL. He'll pick a favorite in the NFL, and he'll pick an over and under. He does this every week. It's his fourth week of doing it. The first week he was 2-1. And Mark, you have it 1-6. So you're 2-7, 0-3 and 0-3. Let's break that string, buddy, with Brick's picks.
First we especially with this amazing backdrop, Dennis, we have to get into the fact that I have to remind everyone, my disclaimer already only 3 weeks in, that we all hear of a special purpose, and apparently mine is guessing wrong as a first instinct. So I want to remind everyone,
It's your superpower.
In order to win actual money, you must fade the brick, because the brick, the universe is not in line. I do not ring the bell like Maddie. I don't have that power. So you have to fade my pick.
Because
I'm 2-7. I'm 2-7. This is unbelievable. So here we go.
That needs to be a t-shirt. Fade the brick.
Who will I voodoo this week? Find out right now. No, so look at this. We got this beautiful paper here. I'm gonna just point out to you what I did just moments ago. I love. Apparently, I'm addicted to losing money on the Raiders. I got to call my sponsor. I'm going to take the Raiders -2.5 right here.
Raiders -2.5.
Fresh off of their win against you know who, I'm going to take a home dog. I'm going to take the Falcons. I can't believe this. This is really reckless. I'm going to take 2.5. The Falcons are 2.5 underdogs. The Browns are a road favorite. There you go. And the Jaguars, who I admire, Lawrence in the face of Urban the Bourbon Myers a year ago. I'm taking the Jaguars and Eagles to combine for 48 points right there. So there you go.
Is that the over?
That is the over.
That is the over. All right. So
I love Oakland. Oakland has cost me more. That money could have gone to the church, and look what they did. Look what they did.
You guys seen Oakland this year? I think I missed
Oakland.
Hey, I hexed them too. I picked them to win the West, and now they're 0-3. I've been telling you.
Oakland ain't going to win jack squat in the NFL. It's going to be Las Vegas, but we get you.
It's usually, really quickly. Usually, when a team's on a streak like that, it's like, they have to win this game, right? The Raiders are one of those teams. But no, we will go to 0-4. I'm telling you, that team is capable of anything.
And
what do the Raiders play?
Where do they play?
The Raiders are hosting Denver.
Where that game will be at?
It's in Vegas, right?
Okay,
Raiders,
right.
Just checking.
Yeah. All right,
it's not a prime time then, though.
We pulled him back in from the floor. All right.
He's like, what happened?
Thank you, Statsman Mark, for that wonderful and very informative thing that we'll be fading this week.
And now, please be upstanding and welcome our own Reverend Moses from the St. Paul Allen Church of Seahawk Positivity for his sermon for this upcoming game. Oh, Reverend.
Yes, it is I, the Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Allen Church Seahawk Positivity. How are you all this evening, gentlemen?
Doing well, thank you, Reverend.
Good. You all look good. Mark is in the den of the beast. I'm so proud of you, my friend. I pray for you weekly.
I made it out, brother. I made it.
Well, as for the Seahawks, their train continues to just run off its tracks, doesn't it? Now, my church organist, Cleolanda Hawk, she has been throwing footballs at anything that moves in the church, screaming, "That's how you throw the damn ball!" But it's kind of sad because she pegged little Timmy Skidmore right in the head. Remember little Timmy Skidmore? He hit him right in the head. That boy thinks he's Peyton Manning, and I was screaming Omaha to anyone who will listen, but I digress. Fans, so glad to be once again here as we try to rebound from another bitter and ugly defeat. But even when there are small bumps along the road to the promised land, we will continue to move towards the promised land, and will rise basking in the warm glow that is Seahawks positivity as we read from a book of the 2022 NFL season in the book of Seahawks Positivity, chapter 3, verses 7 to 12. And it says, as we look for that elusive victory, we look to travel to the land of cars, to Motortown, where those lions do await for us, but the roars of those lions do not bother us. We are surrounded by the warm glow of Seahawks Positivity, and there we shall tame those lions, and those kitties shall be defeated in their own lands. Yes, this is the word and the strength of Seahawks Positivity. Can you feel the power, my brother? Can you feel it in your hands? Can you feel it?
Absolutely.
Like headphones.
Feel like Tua.
If you believe in the power of Seahawks Positivity, to give our defense the ability to make Jared Goff up blood. Let's hear it, I'm in, nice and loud.
I'm in.
Oh, man.
I'm in.
If you believe in the power of Seahawks positivity, give our offense the ability to score more than Kid Rock at a MAGA rally. Let's hear it, I'm in, nice and loud.
Oh, man.
Okay, he might be in
I think
a
on the
lot.
reference.
He might be in a lot. That's power, my brother. We are loud and proud, my 12s. We don't need to let those cats run all over us. We are a water bottle to them. You know water bottles do the cats. It's very disgusting. There's a town in Michigan called Hell, Michigan, and Sunday Detroit's going to feel like hell if you're rooting for the Lions. I will tell you that right now. Uncomfortable and painful, and I ain't lying. This has been your self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Island Church Seahawk Positivity. Go forth and spread the good word of Seahawk Positivity. Praise Largent, praise Cortez, praise Walter Jones, praise Kenny Easley. And as always, go Hawks. Coming up next, we're going to have our predictions, prognostications, and game balls for that game between your Seattle Seahawks and the Detroit Lions. So don't you go anywhere.
You are watching the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production. It's the fourth quarter, bitches.
Yes, welcome to the fourth and final quarter of episode 1011, the Detroit Lion version of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show. We've given you all kinds of information. We've given you a sermon of Seahawk positivity, and now it's time to put all that together, and it's time for our predictions, prognostications, and game balls. First, for Team Posse, Jose, 27-24 Hawks. Prognostication, special teams, turnover. Game ball to Disley. Fingers crossed we actually play defense. I agree with you, Jose. Mike Pascal, Seahawks 24. Motor City Kitties 20. Game ball to Penny. Hawks sack 3 times. Zach Detroit 3 times. Mark Ty Turner, this is one reason I have no faith. The loss of the Falcons made me realize we will win maybe 5 games this year. I know the secondary was down to third-string players, but that's Pete's specialty. Lions win 34-10. Game ball to Dixon, the punter. DK will erupt on the sidelines. It's dumb to pay him so much money without a real quarterback to throw him the ball. Geno sucks. Luck sucks. We should have traded for Mayfield. All right.
Seahawk positivity.
Wow.
He made that right after the Falcons game.
You need to have him give the sermons from now on.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Carey, 24-21 Seahawks. Seattle gets their first second half offensive touchdown. Penny gets my game ball. No joke. Each week, this is getting harder and harder to do. I feel that's what she said. I feel like we don't know this team yet, and I'm struggling to figure out what they're going to do each week. And with that, go Hawks.
Well, they're the Seahawks. That's the team.
That's the team. Jimmy says Lions are a team on the rise. I think they'll find another way to give away a game, this time to our Hawks. I see another snot knocker that goes down to the wire. 27-24 Hawks win. Prognostication Lockett with a reception of over 30 yards. Game ball to Penny. Becky, 26-10 Seahawks. Game ball to Michael Jackson. And just a touchdown. Little Mo, what you got?
All right. Well,
Besides
I'm not
my girl Abby.
Hey, Abby.
My
Okay,
big
I'm not gonna
twin.
be like, oh, these losers and say we're gonna lose.
That boy. That's my man.
Go in like that.
Coming
All
out
right.
firing. Pew, pew, pew.
So I'm gonna go 24-13 Seahawks.
Woo!
Because Jared Goff is awful.
Oh, he's awful.
I'm gonna go. He's
Oh,
gonna
you
throw
take after your dad.
2 or more interceptions.
Give
All
the
right.
kid a beard.
And let's go
Game
with
ball.
week 1 game ball.
Woo. Okay. Nice. All right. That brings us now to Team Posse. Chris says Hawks win 21-16. No, I'm sorry, 21-18. Prognostication game. Geno does not throw an interception. Game ball to Dixon.
It's weak.
Yeah, it's a little weak. Stats and Mark, what you got?
Wait, was that last one a quarterback thing? Are we allowing the quarterback? I'm just curious.
Once. You can have the game ball just once.
Okay. Well, I won't go that route. I am going to say I'm going to break my own streak of hexing my own team and say that Seattle will win 31-27.
All right.
Our
Okay,
defense
31
is going to
points.
score a touchdown. Is that enough?
Yep.
Like whether it's a corner, a pick six, or a fumble, a scoop and a
Defensive touchdown
score.
works. Defensive touchdown works.
Defensive touchdown. Does that include special teams, a block field? I'm getting really tricky now.
No, it doesn't.
I'm sorry.
No, it doesn't.
No, I love that. I love that. I'm trying to get a little, I'm teasing I'm fading
You are.
mine. Anyway.
Somebody-
Facing himself.
And I'm going to give my game
somebody
ball
besides
to.
offense.
I thought I did this last time, but whatever. I'm going to give my game ball to Brian. Kobe.
Oh, Kobe. Okay.
It's like, who the hell's Brian?
Yeah,
I was trying to figure that out too.
Red Bryant's back.
Yeah.
Dustin, what you got for us? Good to see you. Welcome back, my friend. We missed you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's good
Yes.
to be back.
Yeah.
We
missed you, Chiefs fan, Mark.
Apparently, I have the same score that a lot of people thought this time. I said 27-24 Seahawks, so that's
All right.
popular right now.
All right.
Defense needs to step up and make some plays. That's obvious. And from what Pete Carroll was sounding like this week, there's going to be some changes, maybe putting some people in different positions, more of a position to succeed. So with that being said, Mafe has been a guy that's made a lot of plays, and I think he's going to be my player of the game, and he's going to get 2 sacks this game. They're going to put him in a position to succeed.
Nice. I hope you're right. That's nice.
Dennis?
Will. Yes. Mark.
Sorry, I forgot. It's almost like a Mike Silver interruption. I was just informed by Nugget employees that if I managed to hit the 152,000 progressive parlay, I would probably make some friends in this town.
You would.
I forgot.
Our next show would be from Reno. If that happens.
Yeah.
Live on location.
Live on location. Yep. Will, what you got for us?
Well, Moses, like Dustin, I'm also picking Boye Mafe as for my game ball.
Good.
I think he's going to start seeing more time in lieu of Daryl Taylor.
All right.
My prognostication is we hold the Lions to less than 100 yards rushing, because I think we're going to have to do that to win. And I do think we are going to win 27-20.
Oh.
27 is a magic number.
27-20. Matt, hello.
Hello.
What you got for us?
Well, as you know, I'm in desperate need of points because I have none. So my prognostication is that there will be a game, and it will take place in Detroit.
In Detroit.
Look, dude, if I need points, right? And if we can get away with Gino not throwing an interception as a prognostication, I can get away with a game happening.
No.
Right, in which case then Seahawks 19, Lions 17.
I like that score.
These are actual, write them down, bitch. Seahawks 19, Lions 17. This is happening, people. Come on.
Meow.
Game ball, Michael Dixon, because he's going to do a lot of kicking in this game. And prognostication, I think dying seconds, 50-yard field goal to win.
They should have paid Michael Dixon DK Metcalf's money.
So what you're saying is Myers the game-winning field goal?
Yes, Myers. Sorry, game-winning field goal, not Dixon.
Yeah.
Wrong one. It's
like we're gonna put that much.
It's early here, folks.
Yeah, I know. All right.
Day's getting longer.
Well, I
Does he
guess
play for the Oakland Raiders?
Hey, I'm trying to end the show, bitch. All right, here we go.
Yeah, Myers. Let me write that down, bitch.
Write that down. Well, that game last week came down to Geno Smith doing Geno Smith things, I guess. But we can't blame him for not tackling Cordell Patterson now, can we? I mean, my goodness. That man ran through our defense like a chocolate milkshake runs through my lactose intolerant body. But it's time to move on to the next game.
I blame Geno. He didn't even try to tackle the dude.
I know. In hopes that in hopes the Seahawks can finally find a victory that isn't laced with the fact that the other team blew it. That's what she said. Hey, the Seahawks head to Detroit. Take on the Lions this week at Zine Ford Field. None of us can help but remember that Super Bowl XL debacle. We all know where we were when it happened, just like where we were when Kennedy was shot or when Destin took his restroom break with the microphone still on. Yes, we remember that, Seabiscuit. Super Bowl XL is always one of those NFL conspiracy lists, mostly from non-Seahawk fans who just marvel at how terrible the play calling by the refereeing was on that field. And I like to look at off the field conspiracy clues from that game, like the voice of ABC football, Hank Williams Jr., decked out in yellow and black in the crowd of terrible towels, rooting for the Steelers as they take the field. Like Jerome Bettis getting the key to the city before the game. Like the inability of Seahawk boosters to sell flags in the stadium, but terrible towels were everywhere. I could go on. I don't want to be bitter. Not this week. We need to win. The offense is led by Jared Turn Your Head and Goff, who looks like the younger, less talented son of actor Ryan Gosling. But like Ryan Gosling's new role in the upcoming Barbie movie, Jared does look a lot like a Ken doll sometimes in the backfield. Defensively, the Lions are led by rookie Aiden Hutchinson, who looks like the bully teenager that gets his ass kicked in every single teenage movie from the 80s that I've ever seen. And I've seen them all. Hutchinson is part of the New Look Lions, which is an NFL franchise more desperate of a makeover to their personality and reputation than an unmedicated Kanye West. Detroit head coach.
That reference.
Thank you. Detroit head coach Dan Campbell kind of looks like the guy that shows up late to a cookout and then offers plenty of free advice to whoever's cooking on the grill, while bro is about every other word that comes out of his mouth as he takes the last brewski out of the cooler. But again, I digress. Look at the guy. He does look like that. The Lions are a lot better than anyone wants to admit this year, and playing at home, they'll probably be anxious to show the rest of the NFL that they can actually feast on the bottom feeders and rise to the next level of the food chain. But not this week.
No.
Watch the Seahawks sack Jared Goff not once, not twice, but three times. Watch my game ball Rashad Penny run over the Lions like they're the cowardly Lions. Oh, Detroit, you're still Detroit, and the Seahawks will win by a score of Seahawks 27, Detroit Lions 20. Okay. It shall be booked.
They're booked. Attachment mark is gone.
And now it's time to put this episode of your 12-Man Fan Jam show in the books. It was a wonderful show. It was a lot of fun. We hope you learned something. We hope you laughed a little bit. On behalf of Statsman Mark, wherever he may be, Matt from Old England, Little Mo and Abby, Dustin and Kona, Will Harrison, and of course, April
O'Neil,
and everyone on the Posse Prediction Challenge. This is your self-putting Reverend Moses from the St. Paul Church Seahawk Positivity saying, until next time, as always, go Hawks.
Go Hawks. Apparently 3 times a golf, huh?
We going to win this time. I ain't lying.
So where are we getting these 27 points from then?